Secrets, if you really look at yourself, you would be speechless. What happened to being doctors and teachers? What happened to being your brother's keeper? Nowadays, kids more worried about.
I swear they gon' see us. Ain't no way around it.
Yeah. Came in this business to handle my biz. Not searching for enemies, not for a friend. Run on my own and kick the dope in. Now that I made it, I swear I'ma win. Few stumbling blocks, but I never fail. Quitting's no option, so no, I won't fail. Raised up in poverty, grew up in hell. Letting my options way up on the scale. Not a choice, these are cards I was dealt. No one know the pain Jim and I felt. I was told I would always be less. But grandma told me, baby boy, you are blessed. Few things I don't care to confess. Answer God when I finally meet death. Life is a journey, but this is my quest. All out, get it off of my chest. Street cred check, yeah, be my guest. Authentic nigga, yeah, I'm one of the best. Try to stop me and I'm breaking your neck. Got a wishing they ain't never neglect. Broke the chain, fuck yeah, I'm a flex. Show them all just what I'm about. Prove them wrong, but not for the clout. All facts coming out of my mouth.
Ain't no way around it. I'm trying to ball.
Yo, what is poppin'? Before the video starts, I just want to let you all know that I give readings, just like the ones that you see every Monday on my channel. I give on point Orisha Tarot card readings for singles and also for couples. I also do natal chart consultations. My Everything is Everything reading is by far my bestseller. If you want to check out any of these services, please visit my website at www.bandclaptv.com. So again, if you want to check these things out, go to my website, www.bandclaptv.com. Alright. Yo, what is poppin', YouTube and Patreon fam? It's the top of the week, so you already know what time it is. It's your boy, Mr.BandClap, at it again with a pop-up version of the On Point Orisha Tarot forecast spread, and this is going to be for the week of Monday, June the 20th till Sunday, June the 26th of 2022. Yep, you already know. I brought in Gemini season on a high note. So as you all know, today is the last day of Gemini season. Tomorrow will be the beginning of Cancer season, you know. So a lot of special things about today, you know. A lot of people are celebrating Juneteenth today, even though a lot of people celebrated it on yesterday or pretty much all last week. I was actually able to run sound at this Juneteenth event. It was called the Juneteenth Juke Joint, and it was at the Adrian Arts Center in Miami, Florida. And that was a really dope event. Shout out to Mo Beasley. Shout out to La Vie, who was the beautiful singer that you all see with the yellow on. Shout out to you know, all the different you know, people. Mickey on the keys, Mustafa on the tenor sax. I mean, on the alto sax. My bad. So yeah, you know, that was a really dope event. Really good music, really good food, you know, stuff like that. So I know a lot of people are celebrating that. Also, today represents the summer solstice, you know. So we got that. I'm over here I'm at this Starbucks doing this. Hopefully I'm able to fix this audio. But you know, I gotta start the summer solstice off right. You know, a lot of crazy energy going on right now. You know, we've had some really intense you know, moons. We had some very intense moons that's been going on lately. A lot of different things. if y'all have been paying attention to my gaming videos that I've been doing, I've been dropping a lot of hidden knowledge in those videos, you know. So whatever I'm dropping, whether it's a gaming video or a video where I'm pulling cars or a podcast, a rant video, you never have to worry if I'm gonna not say anything knowledgeable. I'm always doing that, no matter what medium I decide to do, you know. So a little Orisha astrology before we get started. So the sun right now is 29 degrees Gemini, and it's shining over the 7th house right now. And let's see where Libra is at. Libra is in the 11th house, you know, of association. So we're going to be communicating in some type of way with people that we're associated with, you know. People that we're associated with that maybe could be potential partners, or maybe we're looking for potential partners or potential people to start a partnership with. And the first pool of people that we're looking to do this with are people that we're close to, you know, our associations. So a lot of us are going to be analyzing said associations, so we can see, do I have any people in my associations right now that I would trust to embark on a partnership with, you know, whatever type of partnership or relationship that is, you know. Now emotionally, right now, our inner child wants to be in a comfortable dream world land that reminds them of home. You know, a lot of us right now, you know, we want to start families, you know, we want to have a history and things like that we can pass on. We want to have a legacy that we can pass on to our children and things like that. And the main thing that I've been seeing in the media right now is chipping away at the black image, you know. And I can see the good and the bad in this, because at the end of the day, you know, I'm more on the spiritual and magical side. And the more people that I meet that's also on this path, you know, these are some of the most genuine people that you're going to meet, because at the end of the day, they're being exactly who they are. Even if they get ostracized, even if they get criticized, you know, even if they feel like they don't belong, it's a good step. So one thing that I'm noticing when it comes to most melanated people that comes over to this side, it's almost like a therapeutic type of thing, you know. So I'm starting to believe that a lot of us melanated beings have these secret magical powers that we feel like that if we express these things outwardly in the society that we're in currently, you know, we feel like we don't belong. We feel like that if we express these things, we will be criticized and ostracized, or maybe the FBI or maybe the government will be targeted, will target us, you know, if we show certain powers and certain things, you know. So a lot of times either these things go dormant, these things are subconscious reasons why we're being so rebellious to this system now and all of that, because, you know, being black in America is not a magical thing, you know. I know you've been hearing about the black girl magic and the, you know, all of that type of stuff, but black magic as you know it, it has never been accepted. You know, black magic has never been accepted. Black magic is to this day is still looked at as being evil, and all of that type of stuff. So that should tell you something. There's still a wall, there's still a barrier that has still yet to be broken, that's really going to separate the people who's really in power, who really got the power, and the people who got this fake power that we've been looking up to them all this time. And the only way that we can break this barrier, we have to first remember who we are, and we got to break this identity. And I've been talking about this since 2020, 2021, and I'm gonna talk about this a lot more in the podcast about the lion, the witch, and the consultant part 2. Because a lot of things that we identify ourselves with, a lot of these things hold us back from the true magical powers that we have. It's not a coincidence that a lot of women that I'm meeting that's getting back into their magic, as soon as they get back into their magic, and they start dibble-dabbling back into the things that their family used to be under, things in their life just starts to change. Like they're getting all the material things that they've always wanted, they're getting men that they never thought that they could attract. They're attracting those. They're getting married. They're having families. They're more positive. All this type of stuff. And I feel like this is what we need to get back to if we want to be serious about rebuilding, rebuilding ourselves and rebuilding our legacy. We were the most feared when we were the most magical. Remember that. As a melanated people, we were the most feared when we were the most magical. A well-placed candle is a lot more dangerous than a well-placed bullet. I'm gonna say it again. A well-placed, a well-intentioned, a well-dressed candle is way more dangerous than a gun that got all the fixings on it, got the long clip, got the laser beam focus, got the grip, got all the Call of Duty attachments. You can have a gun that got all the Call of Duty attachments on it. And if you're dealing with someone who is a skilled magician who knows how to work with candles, that magician will rip that person with that gun to shreds. Because at the end of the day, no matter how much Ogun tries to abuse Yemoya is still the most powerful one. And anytime that Yemoya feels like the abuse is too much, she has the power to stop it. She got the power to stop the abuse when she's ready for it to stop. And again, there's certain things that we used to understand as melanated people. There was a lot of key things that we knew about our women back then that we don't know now, because we've been lulled to sleep by this white and this Jewish religious paradigm that we've been put under. So I know I just went on a rant, but that's a lot of what we've been seeing in the media, all of this stuff. Even when we talk about the lame and the ratchet, and all of this stuff is about us not really having an identity like that. Everything about our culture, everything about us has been based on rebellion. Rebellion of the order that enslaved us. And the elders the elders dropped the ball because, you know, they knew the real reason why we synonymized our African spirituality deities with Catholic saints. You know, they knew why certain herbs were in the medicine cabinet and what those herbs meant and what they did. And, you know, the old candle lady, you know, the old ancestor that was a candle lady, she knew about the root work and all of that. And these people, they didn't pass this knowledge on to their kids. You know, they did it in private, they did it in secret. So when they died, all of that magic died with them. So now, you know, in 2022, we got to do necromancy, and you know, we got to do Akashic record readings, and we got to tap into our subconscious so we can locate a timeline where those elders were little girls themselves and who taught them and stuff like that. We got to do all of this work to try to uproot and unearth those spells and those rituals and those different things that did work, because these things wasn't properly passed on to us, you know. So that's the reason why, you know, we're in this situation that we're in when talking about relationships and different things like that, you know. So enough with my ramble. I gotta give y'all something, because I haven't been behind the camera like this in a while. So all right, my 15 minutes of fame is up. Let's go ahead and get with the reading. So as you know, these two cards right here are a representative of this Santissima Muerte deck. You know, and these are going to represent the overall of, you know, the things to expect for this week and stuff like that. Since it's Gemini season, I pulled 2 cards, you know, the last day of Gemini season. Shout out to my brother Ty Gemini. Shout out to my brother Ty Gemini. It was his song All Out that you heard in the description, you know, on the intro of this video. That was his song All Out. I'll put his the link to his video so you can support it. You know, that's my brother. If you go to my podcast about Be Careful How You Treat People, I talked about how me and him met and all the accomplishments that he's done and all of that. So definitely check that out. These are by day. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows for 7 days. Now, like I always say, you all may not go through or witness, you know, on the particular day, but it's just something for you to be cognizant about during this week. So let's see what we got for this, for the overall. So this is an inner card, the 4. So this is building, 4 building, you know, built to last. So we got an inner card, you know, inner work, and then this 24, which represents Kobe, which represents 6. This is what we got to do on an outer level. So let's see what these mean. So as you all know, with these with this Santissima Muerte deck, there are 32 cards within this deck. Every 8 cards represent one of the 4 worlds of the Cabal. So we got card number 4, you know. So this talks about the world of emanation, you know, the world of emanation, which is this represents the archetypal, the primitive concepts that form the basis and the origin of any material or immaterial form around us. Now, this 24 card that you see, this represents the world of formation. This represents our inner kingdom, part of us, of our minds that consciously or unconsciously regulates all of our actions and is made up of our thoughts, emotions, and instincts. So on an inner level, right now, what we need to be focusing on, we're communicating about relationships, about partnerships. We got a new task. We got a new mission that we're embarking on, that we're trying to bring to pass, and we're trying to communicate with our inner circle, with our associations. We're trying to associate with the right people that we can create something that's going to leave a legacy. A dream of leaving a legacy. And this is a very sensitive subject, very sensitive. Cancer. We're the moon is in Pisces in the 4th house. So this is what a lot of us are thinking of. A lot of things in the media is talking about this, and this makes a lot of sense, So the 4th card, this 4th card that you see right here to the left, this talks about love. So inner love makes sense. Inner love, you gotta love yourself from the inside out. The love illustrated in this card, it represents our original unifying force, the basis for universal solidarity that consents our evolution and change. It is the continuous phenomenon, a flow originating from the first cry of our universe, of our galaxy, down to the planet we inhabit. A web that connects every single atom and that reminds us that our present derives from the past, that is in the best interest to act constructively to build a positive future. So this talks about when you love yourself on an inner level, you act responsibly, bearing in mind not only your needs, but also what they will cause in the environment you live in, So, talking about relationships and stuff like that, you hear a lot about, women being delusional. You hear a lot of people talking about, you only care about yourself. What do you bring to the table? I am the table. That selfish type of attitude. But when you love yourself from the inside out, number one, you're able to discern, who you're able to discern, the people that you need around you. You're able to discern what people don't deserve your love and all of that. So you don't have to always have this wall up and be mean and be combative and stuff like that. When you truly love yourself from an inner level and your inner child is on your sleeve, your inner child is going to let you know what people that they don't want to involve themselves with. And no matter what kind of status or value that you think this person has, you have to listen. You got to be able to listen to your inner child. Okay. So on an outer level, this 24 card, this is from the realm of formation. This is from the realm of formation. So this card talks about flux. And this card talks about, this is the last card of the world of formation. Shows us that we can only obtain self-realization and do significant things in the world if we understand that our present is generated and connected by every kindness and every crime of the past in a continuous flow. So this right here is a complete reflection of this 4 card on an inner level. So you're attracting you know, if you got certain associations that's not aligned with your dreams, you still have to remember that you're the one that attracted these things. So that way you can start working on how you can change this, you know. So we are like antenna that can receive and transmit the original light that comes from emanations, you know, which is this, where this comes from, which also reaches us through our parents, our grandparents, ancestors, and through forms that we have given our gods. So remember that you are the one in the present holding your future, and that if you want this future to be positive, you must first look inside yourself, because every action you decide to take in the world is nothing but a reflection of yourself, you know. So this is something that I've been working on in my life, you know, noticing different things going on in my life and trying to figure out how can I change these things and all of that. And this is something that a lot of us are looking into, you know. So we had to change the scenery because, as you heard, Starbucks that I was at was about to close. So now I'm at a different Starbucks and we're outside. So hopefully I'll be able to do this here, you know. So let's see what Monday has for us. So we got the 8 of fire, the 5 of water, and we got the sun card, you know. So this is pretty much talking about patience, you know. This is talking about patience. Not only that, this is also talking about being steadfast, you know. We're talking about things on an inner level that's going to show itself on an outer level. So on an inner level, we're all abundant, you know. We all represent the sun that is so bright that even though, and I was talking to a baby Oshun about this earlier, about the sun and about the version of Oshun that represents the sun goddess. You know, these are some of the most insecure women, but these are also some of the most beautiful women, because at the end of the day, you know, the sun itself has a lot of blemishes, has a lot of dark spots, has a lot of, you know, imperfections within it, you know, on a galactic level. But on a earthly level, when we see the sun, we see a perfect, bright, round circle, you know, with these beautiful rays and all of this type of stuff, this very radiant sun. And only the people who decided to get a high-powered telescope can look into that radiant, beautiful sun and see those imperfections. But, you know, if you are the sun, you feel like when people look at you and stuff like that, that they're, when they see you, they're paying attention to those imperfections and all of those type of things, when at the end of the day, you know, these things can be further from the truth, you know. So if you're out here and you know, you're trying to find a relationship and things like that, this will be exposed, which is something that's dormant, something that, you know, because of this, you know, a lot of us, our creative energies feel like they're in hot water right now, because, you know, a lot of things in regarding this house has been under attack by the government in a deep way. Pluto, you know, with the gas prices and with the food and, you know, all the different things that the government is trying to throw at your way to keep you from being creatively stable, you know. Because as you can see, this card right here, you not being able to express yourself creatively like you want to. You know, you having these worries and these pressures over things that you wish to happen that didn't happen. You know, you having this deep sorrow over material losses because you decided to take a path less traveled, and now, you know, you at a crossroads. It's like, do you go back to what you know and risk, you know, everybody telling you how much of a dumbass you were, how much of a stupid person you were for even going on that road? Or are you going to muster up the courage and find that branch, you know, that branch that may not seem stable for everybody else, but you see that branch as your way out, you know? And then all of a sudden, now the gossip has spread it. You know, the transformation, the spiritual transformation has spread it, you know? So we know that today marks the summer solstice, you know, so this sun card represents that. It represents success and things coming to the light. Even though creatively it may not seem that way, you know. A lot of us are having issues with pleasures and things like that because of all the spells that the government is trying to put on people's minds. But 8 of fire, you know, Mars, stay steadfast on your deep passions. If you can create a world where you're able to stay steadfast on your deep passions, you know, you're gonna automatically emanate this type of energy on an inner level. And then now you're able to tap into those ancestral line. You know, you're able to tap into that line, that flux type of line. And when people see you, you know, they see that radiant sun, you know, and they can't even stare at you. They can't even stare at you long enough so they can see the imperfections. You know, they can't stare at you long enough so they can see the blemishes and the dark spots and all of those different type of things, you know. But you always got to stay on point. You got to stay ready. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready, because exposure is coming. Exposure is coming, you know. But you can't let this overshadow this, because this is what's imminent. You know, this right here, this is what's imminent. This is gonna happen. The issue is what this government is trying to throw at you. Govern your mental. Is this going to put you in a situation to where you give up on this because of this? And now this is dormant. And now this is dormant, you know. So definitely keep that in mind for today, for Monday. So let's see what Tuesday has for us. Let's see, we got Oshun. What's up, Oshun? So I've been really going through it with this Oshun cartoon. I'm gonna show you a little clip of what the trailer is gonna look like. This is a super, you know, this is a super prototype clip. A lot of effects and things aren't even in it, but this is just to show y'all, you know, how intricate the details that I want to have with this, you know. And since I'm doing this all on my own, you know, it's very hard, you know, because it's like you have a daughter. You know, you want the portrayal of your daughter to be perfect. You know, you want the portrayal of your sister to be perfect. You know, that's why a lot of times the baby SU is the greatest representation for Oshun, because the baby SU, he remembers all, you know. So he remembers when Oshun was a baby. You know, he remembers when Oshun was that adventurous little baby girl spirit. that just wanted to, you know, just wanted to bring beauty and love and stuff like that to the world in the most purest way. So every time I see a card like this, I gotta pull another one. Oh snap. Oh, we got Pumbagira. We got the baby Oshun, and we got Pumbagira, and we got the couple breaking up. So this is a lot of stuff that's going on in the media too. You have a lot of baby Oshuns waking up to who they really are, which is the female Eshu, you know, the divine whore. And you will never be satisfied unless you're with the baby Eshu, especially if you're a female Eshu version of Oshun. So yeah, you know, a lot of breakups. That's why a lot of these breakups has to happen, because you need to be real with yourself. And it's time for this veil to be lifted. You know, you're not giving certain people a chance because they're not shining. The baby Oshun was never about that. She was always about the guy that was going places. You know, he's put in the work, and you know, and he's amassed so much knowledge in the forest, and he's able to take her places that she's never dreamed of, aka a whole new world with Aladdin that got the jinn. You know, he got the genie, the jinn, you know, that can grant his every wish. So yeah, Aladdin, you know, I think he was homeless. I think Aladdin was homeless. You know, all he had was a pet monkey, and he used to steal from the rich. But Aladdin wasn't broke. You know, he could have easily asked that genie for all the riches in the world. You know? And look at the saga between him and Princess Jasmine. Now, we all know that this was a Disney movie, so you got to take a lot of things with a grain of salt. But, you know, y'all baby Oshuns, y'all got to come to y'all senses. You know, like real talk, because we need the baby Oshun. The grown-up Oshun, she's been defiled. You know, the grown-up Oshun has been she's lost in her desires. She done got so far away from who she originally was. Now the grown-up Oshun that is connected to that baby Oshun, she got a whole different name. Her name isn't Oshun anymore. You know, for the people who's really into this shit, her name hasn't been Oshun for a long time. You know, and that's all I'm gonna say with that. Her name hasn't been Oshun in a long time. So y'all better realize, y'all better find out who y'all really are. You know, because this is why these relationships aren't working out. You know, the reason why these relationships aren't working out, and the reason why, you know, because this talks about weddings, celebrations. You know, Oshun is like, when you're in a place where you can unleash this type of energy without being judged, you won't have to keep, you know, putting yourself in these bullshit relationships that's not even gonna go anywhere. You know, but you can only do that if you love yourself from the inside out. And this takes work. 2 + 4 is 6. The 6th house. This takes work. You know, female Eshu, this is 6 the goddess. You know, I be talking about 6 the goddess all the time. This 6 the goddess right here. The Virgo Oshun. On what was that show? Encanto. The Virgo Oshun, she was the one that had the black and gray hair. The one who thought that she had to be perfect and all of that. You know, that's who this represents. When you finally accept yourself for your flaws and all. You know, if you're a divine whore, you know, if that's who you are, then you need to hold on, y'all. If a divine whore is who you are, you know, you need to relish in that, you know, and you need to learn what a divine whore really is, because it's not just a woman who has sex with a lot of men. You know, that's what this Western world has taught you about the divine whore. The divine whore is extremely powerful, just like the androgynous man is extremely powerful. That's why in the modern world, you see a lot of gay guys around beautiful women, you know, because at the end of the day, Eshu's energy also represents the gatekeeper, you know, and the androgynous people or the dragon people are the gatekeepers to take you to other worlds, you know. I had a whole video that I was gonna do breaking down androgynous people and dismantling the LGBT, you know. I still may do it, I may not, I don't know. But you know, the more I dive into the court of Oshun and I look at different you know, gods that surrounded themselves around Oshun, they all had a androgynous type of you know, thing about them, you know. And androgynous, you being androgynous doesn't mean that you want to have sex with the same sex, you know. So that's Oshun's message, and we got Shango right up here. So Oshun is like, look, the reason why me and Shango broke up, oh shit, I didn't even see this right here. So Oshun is like, look, the reason why me and Shango couldn't work out because my heart was with Eshu. That's why we broke up, you know. Because when Oshun was with Shango, you know, she had to be her grown-up self, and the baby Oshun, she's not used to being in her body for that long. You know, she's not used to being in her body for that long. You know, she's only used to being in her body to achieve certain missions. The issue is man has been infatuated. Man has been infatuated with Oshun's body. That was a mosquito. Man has been so infatuated with Oshun's body that he's encapsulated her energy within this superficial body, you know, and then put a system around that, so that you know, it's a hypersexual type of system, and then all the things that Oshun would need in order to keep her body and her hair, aka her hair, looking good, you know. They put prices, you know, brands, different stuff. The Mama Cholas, they failed their Oshun daughters because they didn't show these baby Oshuns how to naturally take care of their body and their hair, you know, with herbs and with certain fruits and certain foods and stuff like that. So now these baby Oshuns, they're lost, you know. They don't know how to locate the baby Eshu, because that's what they were taught in school. They were taught in school how to find the baby Eshu, you know, and the things that you can do to attract him, you know. So the reason why you have a lot of these women and they're looking for this Shango character, you know. But it's like, and Shango in this sense represents the modern day high value man, you know. Eshu in the modern day represents everything that the baby Eshu, Orunmila, Ochosi, all of them represented. Ochosi, he represented the shooter, you know. Orunmila, Orula, you know, he represent the medicine man or the drug dealer. And Eshu, He represents the scammer, you know, in the modern world, because, you know, these soulless beings has took our archetype and our DNA and stuff like that, and created this system to where all the things that we used to do that made us gods are now looked at as bad, you know. So a person who got Eshu energy, you know, he's automatically against the status quo. He automatically wants to adventure in the forest. So they put him in a jungle. They put him in a concrete jungle, you know, and you know, the closest thing that he got to Ochosi is the shooter, the shooter who don't even know anything about firearm safety or training, you know. They just got a gun and they just know how to shoot. And then you got Arula, you know, the medicine man, the drug dealer, you know. He's just trying to make a way for his family, and he's dealing these drugs that's bad for the community, but it puts money in his pocket so he can help his family. Because Ochosi, you know, after everything happened with Ogun and Yemoya, that was the job that Ochosi told Obatala that that's what he's gonna do. So no matter what type of reality that Ochosi is put in, is gonna do with shooting, is gonna do with hunting, is gonna have something to do with a higher power telling him that he got to do this so he can support his family. So I'm trying to tell y'all, man, like, y'all need to really study this Orisha knowledge, because this is who we are, and you will understand this spell that we've been put under because of this stuff. You know, all this system of soulless beings did was took who our natures really are, you know, and then they created these evil and sick and twisted pipelines for us to be able to be who we are, but in a negative type of way, you know. So we got the 3 of fire. You know, you're gonna lose a lot of support. You know, just like when Oshun, you know, she ended up getting with the high value man, you know, because she had a desire. She had a desire to be a queen and to have babies, you know, and that was something that she left Eshu, you know. The baby Oya convinced Oshun that she need to leave Eshu alone. She need to grow up and she need to become a queen. So she never lost her love for Eshu, and that's who she really was. But she had to hide that side of her and be a lot of things that she really didn't want to be. She had to be a lot of things that she really didn't want to be in order for her to get the support of the people, because the people don't like Eshu. You know, Eshu get a bad rep, even though everybody loved Jesus, but they made sure, these soulless beings made sure that you don't synonymize Jesus with Eshu. And then they made sure that you don't synonymize Jesus and Eshu with Shiva. But these are all the same person, you know. So, you know, this is who she always was, the female Eshu, you know. And that's the reason why her and Shango didn't work out, you know, because when she was in that relationship with Shango, and then she would leave out and try to turn into a baby and go into the forest, she couldn't do that. You know, Shango had Oshun locked up, not locked up, but, you know, they was in a type of relationship where he was overly protective of her. And it makes sense because, you know, she's high profile, a high profile celebrity. She's a high profile queen. You know, any and everybody wanna get with her and get to her. So it makes sense how overprotective that Shango was, but he don't understand that the reason, you know, you can't be overprotective of Oshun, because she is the earth. You know, she's the daughter of the earth, so she's always gonna be straight. So you don't have to be protective over her. And at the end of the day, still water is dead water. Every time a daughter of Oshun starts to feel closed in and all that type of stuff, this is how they handle that, through breakups, and a lot of times she stays in relationships too long that she had no business being a part of, because she's scared to lose everything, lose her support, lose her bag, But at the end of the day, 9 of Earth, if you want to be if you want to be wise, about this, you gotta leave. You gotta leave, no matter what, because these are all negative cards. This is talking about losing your family, losing your home, losing your bag, losing your support. But what means more to you? What means more to you? I'm not saying either one is good or bad, but which one means more to you? You being in your truth, no matter how stigmatized it is, or you being the prosperous queen that got everything, but you're in a situation and you're in a relationship that that you don't even resonate with, So this is another thing that a lot of people are, especially a lot of women, are fighting this, because it's like, I can sacrifice my happiness and my well-being and my stability. I can sacrifice that to get with the drug dealer, to get with the scammer, even though I know that the more I get with that type of person, my chances of getting with Shango get lower and lower and lower, so this is something to think about. Definitely something to think about, and something that you're gonna hear in the spaces a lot this week, and stuff like that. Man, when I tell you, I'm over here getting ate up by these mosquitoes over here. So let's see what Wednesday has for us. We got the Moon card reversed. We got the 7 of Water reversed. And we got Obanani reversed. And we got the, what is this? So this is the 6 of Fire reversed. So Obanani, so Obanani, and this is the Obanani that is in the underworld, this is a message from Obanani in the underworld, telling these daughters of Oshun, when it comes to this Gemini in the 7th house, when it comes to this 7th house, 7 of Water, when it comes to your emotions about relationships and partnerships, all that type of stuff, you need to make the right solution. You need to make the right decision and go on the right path and be persistent. Even though this is a very underestimated path, and this world will lead you to believe that this right path is going to be very sad, it's going to be very lonely, all of that. But you're underestimating the power of Obanani. A lot of times it's because you haven't seen a Obanani representation in your life that actually worked. One thing that Obanani understands, is that at the end of the day, being a wife is a ongoing, lifelong thing. It is a very victorious thing when it starts out. You know, everybody, this is the wedding, you know, everybody is happy, you know, it's a celebration, it's a wedding, you know. And then, you know, once this honeymoon period ends, now this card happens. You know, once the honeymoon period ends and people are, you know, no longer singing your praises, you know, the whole hoopla of the wedding has died down, and now it's time for you to actually live with this person. It's time for you to actually be with this person. And you're about to go through a lot of trials and tribulations, you know, that you know you don't want to put all over social media, because it may not be something that you're proud of all the time. So when it comes to women, this is where they get into the unrealizable dreams. You know, this is when they get into the excessive fantasies, you know, selfishness that leads you to ask a lot without giving much. You know, do not ask what you cannot give. Do not demand what you cannot demand. Do not promise what you are sure that you cannot fulfill. You know, after that marriage, that wedding happens and all of that, you know, what we've been taught in this fake world is a lot of illusions that fade away as a result of selfishness. And this is what leads to spiritual persecution, a blackish aura, and attack astral body. And all of this stuff right here, it happens within the relationship before the actual breakup. You know, before all of this stuff right here happens on a spiritual level, on a mental and emotional level, before the breakup even happens. You know, and that's the reason why we're in these toxic relationships, and that's the reason why we're in these toxic marriages and stuff like that, because we're not putting into account an account that we got to act responsibly, bearing in mind not only our needs, but the needs, not only our needs, but also what they will cause in the environment that we live in. And then we forgot, you know, you forget that you are the one in the present that's holding your future, and that if you want this future to continue to stay positive, you got to keep, you know, this is an ongoing thing that you got to constantly do. You got to constantly look inside yourself, because every action you decide to take in the world is nothing but a reflection of yourself, you know. And you have, you know, dating coaches, and you have, you know, different life coaches and people that preach this, you know. And you know, a lot of people, they judge the messenger. They like to judge the messenger and not the message. They like to judge the person's tone and delivery instead of listening to the message and see, does the message resonate with you. And this is the reason why, you know, we're having these relationship problems and stuff like that. I just got finished listening to Lovely T, and she made this video. She's talking about, you know, a lot of these states around the United States, they're cracking down on these Airbnbs. You know, they're cracking down on these Airbnbs and people renting out their apartments. A lot of people that are renting, that are doing this Airbnb stuff, are getting their houses broken into. You know, you got a lot of women out here that are living alone. You know, and that's not normal for Oshun. She's you know, she's usually protected everywhere she goes. You know, this is not normal. All of these women living alone, you know, and it don't matter if you got a gun or not. You know, if you're a daughter of Oshun out here, and you're living alone, and you know, you got this, I'm an independent woman, all this type of stuff, you know, especially in this time we're living in, you truly don't realize how much of a walking lick you are. And we're getting to that point, you know, where, you know, people morals are going out the window. Every time we get into a serious financial crisis, the first thing that goes out the window are people's morals, you know. So you got to be protected out here, you know. And it's a lot, two heads are better than one. It's a lot better if you got a man and you know that man is gonna make sure that everything stays regulated, you know. It's deeper than this bullshit that you're seeing on social media about this. So don't underestimate the power of being a Obanani, you know. Very important. So let's see what Thursday has for us. So this is the 9 of air. This is the 3 of earth. So who are you not collaborating with? So this is the message from earth, you know. So again, you know, this piggybacks off of all the stuff that was said over here, you know, on a inner level when it comes to what this harvest, what this solstice is gonna provide for you. This message from earth, your gift, this talks about you will be benefited and rewarded with money or valuables for all of the skill and capacity shown in your actions. I made a video, a live stream about what is love, and I broke down what skills and scales meant. You know, a woman's scales. You know, back in the world of Atlantis, where the women were mermaids, you know, the way they attracted the gods above, they made sure that their scales were glimmery and shiny, so that the gods would notice them and put that rod down and get them, you know, catch them, you know. So, you know, we're going back to that. In this time now, you know, dudes are really, really frugal. You know, we're really frugal with our money because we don't know how this economy is gonna go. OnlyFans is going down. The prices of strip clubs, like all of this stuff, is going down. You know, dudes are getting a lot more smarter with their money, and not only that, they're getting a lot more smarter with their success. Because at this time right now, you know, if you're at the top and you got to start back from the bottom, you know, that's real crazy right now, you know. So this message from earth, you know, you better learn, you better cultivate your gifts for activities related to earth. You know, stability. You got to look like someone who can provide stability. You know, if I'm a high value man, you need to look like the type of goddess that will keep my value stable, and then we can build on top of it to build an empire. You know, you can't come into the game with a 3 of earth type of attitude. You can't come into the game, you can't come into the relationship with a selfish, totalitarian attitude, ignorance, obstinacy, this union of efforts, a lack of collaboration. You know, you got a lot of people and they want to go into these ready-made relationships and get mad when the person who has the upper hand kicks you out. You know, because at the end of the day, you know, you wasn't with that guy shooting in the gym, you know, when he didn't have nothing, when he was, you know, homeless, you know, when he was sleeping on couches and all of that, you know, trying to make it. You wasn't even looking in his direction. So now that he's made it and he's successful, you know, it's like, yo, I'm very wise, very wise with who I decide to link up with, who I decide to share my energy with, and I'm not finna do it with just no any person, you know. So you gotta realize that, you know, that's what we're on, you know. So if you really want to attract a stable, you know, message from earth type of person, you know, you need to make sure that you have you know, these collaborative attitudes. You know, when it comes to Taurus, self-esteem. You need to be able to keep the self-esteem and the morale of the relationship alive. Virgo, you gotta keep you gotta keep the little details clean. Taurus, Taurus Oshun's, those are the cooks. Those are the baby Oshun's that's always rummaging around getting fruits and vegetables and keeping a good meal and stuff like that. And then the Virgo is the one that focuses on the little details, keeping the house clean, keeping the business clean, things like that. And then you got Capricorn. Capricorn is gonna make sure that we stay at a high status, So this is what, as a man, this is what we're looking at when we're trying to, oh, that's a fly right there. When we're trying to vet for a Oshun that's going to be a Obanani for us, we're looking for someone who's gonna keep our morale and our self-esteem up in the bad times. We're looking for someone that's gonna work as hard as us, Virgo. Someone who's gonna keep our status and keep our finances at tip-top shape, Capricorn. And that's what's going to make you a goat, or as a woman, this is what's going to make you a female goat, and you can end up attracting this type of person, so when it comes to this, you got to come out of hiding. You got to come out of confinement. You got to come out of this cave thinking all men ain't shit. You got to come out of this cave thinking that, I got to get a regular man. I got to get a average guy. We got to get off of this hiding and confinement. That period has ended. Time is up. This cycle is over. You got to be ready. Things are never going to be the way they used to be in the 90s. What's her name? Jada Waiter. Things are never going to be the way they used to be in the 90s. Men have woken up. They're not on that Shango stage no more. Now a lot of these guys are traumatized humans, unable to grieve because of this system that we live in, where as a man you can't show your emotions. You're not taught how to show your emotions as a man. So a lot of men that are coming up now, they're a lot more preventative. They just won't do shit because of the possibility. So as a woman, that means that you have to be a lot more of who you are, so people won't be afraid to approach you. You don't want to be shining so bright that can't nobody get close to you. And as a guy, you can't have so much ego that a woman don't feel comfortable around you, because they feel like you're gonna lash out, because they feel like you're gonna be like, see there, that's why I don't want to be with you, because you like this girl, you're like this person, you're like that person. You don't want to be like that either. So let's see what Friday has for us. So we got the Ace of Water, and that's reversed. Got the Ace of Fire reversed. That's the Eight of Earth reversed. All these reverse cards. Oh, and we got Legba. So this is pertaining to work. A lot of this is pertaining to work, pertaining to our job situation and stuff like that. So this right here, this talks about people who don't want to get in certain relationships, and they don't want to have a family. They don't want to do certain things in that department because of their career. You got a lot of you know, and you hear this from women a lot. Like, yeah, I'm focused on my career, you know, I don't got time. You know, this is when they're in their childbearing years where they can really have a big family. You know, they're like, no, I want to focus on my career. I want to focus on, you know, my job and all of that. Well, what this Legba is exposing stability right now. You know, exposing stability as far as your self-esteem goes, as far as your work ethic goes, and as far as your status goes. You know, so if these things aren't divine, if you aren't on your divine work, you know, your fire or your spiritual prowess, which is going to be your individuality, your creative natures that makes you a Queen Yalorde, and also what you project outward. You know, all these things are controlled by this job. You know, something that is not even connected to who you really are. And now you got this false sense of accomplishment because of this career, because of this job, you know, of you making this white person or this Jewish person rich, you know, and you only get a salary. You only get a small little bit of what they get, you know. So this 8 of Earth talks about, do not stop the driving force when feeling sure and calm because you think you got enough material to spare. You know, a lot of people that talk this type of talk, they have a lack of practicality. They abandon their relationships and they abandon things at the halfway point because they got that Tashino Arnold off of Everybody Hates Chris. You know, instead of my man got 2 jobs, is I got 2 jobs. I don't want to handle this because I got 2 jobs. Or you're like that girl that was interviewing this guy and she was like, if you got a 9 to 5, I don't want to be with you. You know, lack of practicality, useless practices. You know, you're a baby Oshun. You're supposed to be a high priestess. You're supposed to be a master magician, and you're a freaking, you know, you're a real estate agent, or you're a CNA, or you're supposed to be working with herbs, and you're supposed to be a natural healer, you know, but you're a CNA working at a working at a hospital where, you know, you're working at this hospital that's ran by pharmaceutical companies that don't care about healing people. They only care about insurance money. You know, they only care about giving people something that's going to make them even more sick. You know, it's a real messed up game out here. But they're using these daughters of Oshun, you know, who already got within their DNA that they want to help and heal people. So they put them in this artificial 8 of Earth reverse type of pipeline, you know, where, you know, in order for you to do this, you can't do it your natural way because that's been outlawed. You got to do it our way. Because if you want to do it the natural way, look at what happened to Left Eye. You know, you see how they do, and Left Eye was a Gemini too, Cancer moon, you know. So if this is what you're going through, you know, with this communication that's coming to you right now, you got to change this because it's false. This sense of entitlement that you got, you know, this sense of comfortability is false, you know, because you can have this big house and you can have all of these things, but, you know, if something goes bump in the night and, you know, you don't got a man, you know, you're gonna be in trouble, you know. And that's just one small example of the reason why, you know, at the end of the day, and we saw this a lot last year, you know, people who were at the wrong place at the wrong time because they were, you know, they weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing. You know, they weren't in the environment that they were supposed to be in because of some superficial thing, you know, they ended up being deleted. They ended up dying, you know, and it was very messed up, you know, how they passed or whatever, but they wasn't living the way they were supposed to be living. And that's what happens. So this is another thing in our community when talking about relationships, you know, because the sun is in Gemini in the 7th house. So we're talking about relationships. We're talking about the delusion that starts from the home. Pisces in the 4th house. The delusion that started from the home. The reason why our relationships, you know, are the way that they are, you know. So we gotta take heed to this. If we want to have a legacy that our children and our children's children will be able to comfortably be who they really are, you know. So now we're on the weekend, baby. Let's see what Saturday has for us. So this is the phoenix that rises from the ashes. So this is good. This is the salamander. All right. So the message from water has everything to do with this. So you take heed, because this represents the black, this represents the white, and this is you getting this victory. You listening to Legba, who's trying to tell you, yo, you need to change this. So now you were able to get this victory, this transcendence. You were able to defeat your enemies. You were able to defeat your situation with or without help from others. But this is being ignored because of this mental disorder. There's a mental disorder that's been prevalent in our community, and it's something that can be this is something that can be rectified with rationality and being realistic and rational. You know, being realistic and rational about your situation, you know, and that's the only way that you're going to be able to rise to be the phoenix out of the ashes that can rise out of this situation that everybody else is in that's a bad omen. And this is you taking your status back. This is you taking back your status from these people. You know, this is you getting therapy. And now you realize the pathway to victory. And you're like, dang, like I ain't even have to do all of that stuff to get this pathway to victory. You know? So this is important. Victory through transcendence, you know, message from water, and it's coming from this. And, you know, being realistic and rational. You know, getting therapy from this mental disorder so you can rise out of your own ashes. You know, there's no lying in therapy. That's why I love Kendrick Lamar's new album, because, you know, his album centered around him getting therapy for a lot of things that was messing up his relationship. You know, and a lot of people, they weren't feeling that album because, you know, he wasn't talking about no rah-rah shit. He wasn't talking about, you know, bitches and hoes and gangster shit and all of that. You know, it's a new day. Drill music is being outlawed. You know, it's a new day. So it's time for us to rise up out of these ashes so we can be who we're really supposed to be. You know, us as melanated people, we're this is not us. We're not this. We're not this type of people. You know, we're a loving people. We're a caring people. We're a innocent baby type of people. You know, so it's time for us to recreate the systems to where we can show that, even if it means that other races very well may be intimidated, but this is going to give them that motivation for them to step into who they truly are. You know. All right, so last but not least, let's see what Sunday has for us, because if not, you know, if you don't rise out of this, if you don't get this therapy, realize your true power, and rise up, you still trying to be in this old system that's going away, you're going to continue to face loss. You're going to continue to face loss. You're going to continue to have a lowered spirit, you know. But Jesus says in the Bible, the baby as you, behold, I stand at the door and knock, you know. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. And only if you can open up the door and let me in, can I help you. But if this person is knocking on this door, if this person doesn't look like this illusion that you've been raised to believe that this is what gets you wet, like this is what you want, you know, are you gonna let this new opportunity, this new frontier, are you gonna let this pass you by? You know, because you don't see the value in it, because you wasn't taught to see the value in it. Are you gonna let this pass you by just because, you know, even though you're spiritually low, your stability is all effed up, but, you know, misery loves company, you know? Are you going to stay in this pitiful situation and not rise up because you're afraid of being lonely, because you're afraid that, you know, all your friends are going to be gone, nobody else is going to understand you, nobody else is going to believe you, you know? The choice is yours. At the end of the day, the choice is yours, you know? So this two of fire, it talks about needing to join forces for a mutual understanding and for protection, companionship in a new enterprise or relationship or job. You know, something that's truly going to express who you really are. So now you can attract the people, places, and things to you that reflect who you really are. You know? The joining of feelings compared to our deeds expresses a logical equivalent and a rationalist attitude. See, you can only, this opportunity is only going to present itself to you when you've done this therapy right here and you've risen up right here, you know? And if you put these principles into practice, your dominion and your achievements will increase. Whoever crosses this entrance may also cross different frontiers. You know, a lot of people, they're afraid to travel. Sagittarius, Jupiter, traveling, you know, experiencing something new that's going to give you a brand new experience. You know, you don't realize that, you know, this is what's going to give you a new sense of identity. This is what's going to give you a new way to express your creative talents, which is going to lead to you, you know, being wise, having wisdom. Sagittarius, being wise, you know. And then, you know, when you're wise and you got this type of energy, your status is going to be very prosperous. You're going to have a prosperous status. Capricorn, prosperous status, you know. But I think right now Libra is in the 10th house. So you are what you attract right now, you know. And if you can heed that message for this week when it comes to these relationships and things like that, my friends, you will be glad that you did. All right, y'all. So this is the On Point Orisha Tarot for this week. These mosquitoes have been biting me to death. So I'm finna go ahead and get this edited so I can get this to y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Please, if you can, donate. I'm trying to finish this episode. I need to buy some more effects and things like that to make this series really pop out the way I want it to. And I can't do this without y'all. So I love y'all. And until next time, peace.
What's up, y'all? I hope y'all enjoyed that video, and if you stayed to the end, I appreciate you. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, I want to redirect you to my Instagram page. I don't promote my Instagram page a lot, but as my subscriber count and things like that rise due to things like shadow banning and stuff like that, I'm hearing that a lot of people aren't getting my notifications when I go live on YouTube and stuff like that. So for all things BandClap TV, my Instagram page and my story are going to have all of the notifications and things like that when it comes to when I'm going live, when I'm going, when I'm releasing videos, when I'm releasing content. Also on my Instagram page, if you're curious about my reviews for my readings and stuff like that, as you can see on my Instagram, I have a lot of different testimonials and stuff like that. For those who don't know of me as an artist, I also have videos of me performing and stuff like that. I'll be putting out more stuff like that very, very soon. So I'm just trying to get as many people right now to go ahead and follow me on Instagram. That is BandClap TV, and also my Facebook and Snapchat, BandClap TV as well. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all, and like I always say, no matter what, you got to stay shining. You got to stay shining.